And now to coronavirus and more harsh reminders tonight that we must all buy in and commit to social distancing. More than 1,700 cases have now been reported in Colorado across 42 counties. 31 people have died, more than 200 hospitalized. Nearly 650 cases have been reported over just the last 2 days. Governor Polis has repeatedly said the real total case number is likely in the thousands, and today he added it will take some time before we see the effects of social distancing in the data. The unemployment numbers, they're equally alarming. The Labor Department tells us we are on track to see 75,000 claims filed this week alone. Typically, it takes up to 6 weeks for money to start coming in. The state is trying to cut that down to 10 to 14 days. Now, 14 state Republican lawmakers are calling out Governor Polis tonight over that stay-at-home order. They're upset they weren't consulted before he made the call. They also don't understand why rural areas that aren't reporting high numbers have to be included. Contact 7 Chief Investigator Tony Kovaleski hearing from the governor tonight. And Tony, he made it pretty clear today why the entire state is under this order.
Well, yeah, Ann, you heard what Governor Polis said at the top of our broadcast, basically saying the argument Republicans are making is flat out stupid. He is owning his decision for the statewide decision because he doesn't want people from one infected county to go to counties where there are fewer people infected. So he stands behind it, essentially not buying what the Republicans are selling. What he is buying is data, and he spent about an hour today informing everybody in Colorado about the data that has led to all of his decisions.
When we are successful, we will be able to resume normal activities.
Using charts and graphs and data, Colorado's governor gave the state a behind-the-scenes look at the foundation of his decisions during the past 3 weeks.
I encourage everybody to look at the data and science first, to act responsibly in this crisis. Everybody wants to get through this disruption as quickly as we can.
The governor's latest data analysis shows the state's demand for ICU hospital beds will continue to grow. He believes the state will need to add 1,000 beds by May and 5,000 ICU beds by this summer.
All of the money for beds and ventilators is trivial compared to the economic cost of shutting down our state for even a day. I mean, we are a productive state, hundreds of millions of dollars of economic activity every day. This is a rounding error. If all of these beds and ventilators and everything we're doing helps us open up 1 day or 2 days earlier, it more than pays for itself.
Colorado's governor continued to focus everybody on the need for social distancing.
What success means is our hospital system has the capacity at the point in time needed to treat patients and save lives. It means we don't have a catastrophic breach of our healthcare system, bodies lining up, unable to access beds or healthcare and dying.
The governor clearly getting animated at that news briefing this afternoon. One other critical point for you, several people calling our Denver 7 newsroom and other outlets throughout the state concerned that employers are not following the social distancing requirements and some employers not allowing employees to work from home. The governor said this is a statewide order. It is law. If employees see it, they're advised to call local law enforcement and call the Attorney General. He's serious about the social distancing order throughout our state. Reporting live at the state's Emergency Operations Center in Centennial, I'm Tony Kovaleski. Shannon?
He is very serious. Tony, thank you very much. And hospitals are thinking on their feet and wheels to ensure that coronavirus does not spread among patients. Denver 7's Lance Hernandez has that story tonight from Medical Center of Aurora. Good evening, Lance.
They've set up an outside triage system, Shannon, which includes this yellow tent and that RV parked behind it. The goal, to keep COVID patients separate from those showing up for regular emergencies. And they're going to fine-tune this triage system for the numbers that are expected in the next few weeks.
We initially screen patients as they arrive here.
Respiratory patients enter this tent, where nurses ask them a few questions.
Be asking if you had any contact with any positive COVID-19 patients, any high risk travel, and then we'd also be screening your symptoms.
There are symptoms. The patient is sent over to this RV for triage.
Here I can evaluate them and disposition them in a much faster process. So if I can screen out my patients who don't need admission very quickly, evaluate them and treat them, I can do 5 times the number of patients I can through here than I can through the ER if the ER is backlogged with patients who are on ventilators or requiring oxygen.
Yesterday, 6 patients were admitted to the hospital for treatment with ventilators. Those numbers are expected to increase.
The main thing we're trying to do is to be able to accommodate the surge of patients that we're expecting.
Dr. Eric Hill, the chief of emergency services, says the COVID caseload here is expected to peak in about 3 to 4 weeks. He says operating this outside triage and ironing out the bugs will help them prepare for what's to come. He says staff is a little anxious about it.
It's the calm before the storm, and it's anticipating what you expect. I think it does create a sense of anxiety for people, knowing what's going on.
But he says that's what they've trained for.
It's just the anticipation of what we're going to be into within 2 weeks. That's the anxiety-producing component of it.
And Dr. Hill reminding people that they're not administering any COVID tests unless you are admitted to the hospital. That means unless you are having difficulty breathing. Lance Hernandez, Denver 7.
Thank you, Lance. And critical to stabilizing our economy is ensuring people don't lose their homes. Denver 7's Sloan Dickey on the action being taken to save the mortgage industry.
This is a huge risk. I'm a single income.
Jeremy Krieger is like many Coloradans right now, worrying about the future during the coronavirus outbreak.
It's imposing on our jobs and some of our businesses.
And with the future comes mortgage payments.
I want to plan ahead. What can my bank do for me, or my lender in this case, support us?
Contact 7 has received numerous questions about what customers should do about mortgage payments if they're laid off or furloughed during the coronavirus. According to the experts, the most important thing to do is communicate.
The best approach, I think, today is to talk to your lender, say what opportunities are there for me.
Major banks are also preparing with customer care programs and services to help Americans financially impacted. Banks like Chase, Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank, and Bank of America are offering a 90-day suspension of mortgage payments provided the loan was purchased through the bank.
And the banks don't want the default. They want people to pay on time and so on. So they are setting up these programs.
All right, thank you all.
And today, President Trump signed the $2.2 trillion American bailout, but that's not enough, according to Levin, to ignoring a growing problem.
That $1,200, $1,400, $1,600 that one might receive hopefully gets by on some other needs.
But regardless of the assistance, the most important step, according to experts, is communication.
Talk to them, work out a plan, and work it out so that the payments are deferred reasonably and properly and orderly.
For Denver 7, I'm Sloan Dickey reporting.
We're getting a lot of questions about how this stay-at-home order will be enforced. Now, the answer varies, but one thing's certain, police will not pull you over and just to ask where you're going. In fact, earlier this week, a woman reported being stopped by Crown Vic with flashing lights. She says a man stepped to her window, questioned what she was doing out. Well, Aurora and Denver police say they don't know who that guy was, but he wasn't with them. If you have any reason ever to believe that you are being pulled over by someone who is not a real police officer, turn your hazards on, call 911, and drive to the nearest police station. The woman who failed to prevent the murder of Kelsey Barrett and then helped cover it up is now asking for a lighter sentence. Crystal Kenny was ordered to spend 3 years in prison. That is the maximum allowed under her plea deal. Well, she's now asking to be moved to a halfway house, a less strict environment where inmates go to readjust to society, a prospect that DA Dan May finds disgusting.
We knew this was coming, but this is just shocking. To have this come up this quickly, it's outrageous, it's disheartening. Quite frankly, in a case that is this horrible, she should not be back on the streets this quickly.
Kenny's request now goes to an advisory board, and I promise you we'll let you know what comes with that. Well, detectives are trying to find the person who taped firecrackers to a live gas line at a home near Brighton. The homeowner called 911 after discovering a backpack that was filled with car keys and gloves, a registration card from a stolen card. Well, the Weld County deputies started looking around and found kind of a makeshift bomb attached to the gas line. Next to the meter was a full box of matches and empty bottles of alcohol. Coming up, a coronavirus stakeout. An older couple waits days for the opportunity just to order groceries.
Oh, it was so frustrating. I was in tears.
In his quiet Lakewood neighborhood, Jerry Breakup never imagined the impact of the coronavirus.
3 weeks ago, none of this was going on, and now all of a sudden we're trapped in our house.
His biggest worry so far, having to order groceries through several stores' apps, so he and his wife don't have to go into the store.
The first one I got was through Walmart.
Those shelves are fully restocked. There will be plenty of time to try new things.
We're having catfish tonight. It'll be interesting.
Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
No matter how hard employees work, and they are working hard, grocery stores can't seem to catch a break, and neither can some of their customers. As Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez shows us, the method they're using to create some sense of order isn't working for everyone.
In his quiet Lakewood neighborhood, Jerry Breakup never imagined the impact of the coronavirus.
3 weeks ago, none of this was going on, and now all of a sudden we're trapped in our house.
His biggest worry so far, having to order groceries through several stores' apps, so he and his wife don't have to go into the store.
The first one I got was through Walmart. The day before, we put our order in, drove up, called the people, and we put it in the back of the truck. Well, the next time, within 4 days, we went to order something else, and all of a sudden, when I pulled the app up, it shows 2 days worth of dates out in front, and they're all full.
Jerry says he would wake up all hours of the night to see when slots opened up, finally reserving a date for this Saturday.
With our order Saturday afternoon, we will be fine for probably another 4 or 5 days. But then, again, the insecurity sets in again.
Both Walmart and King Soopers say because of the increased amount of orders, they've only set out a couple days in advance for people to book a slot. That way, customers can have a greater chance of having their orders fulfilled. They also ask people to keep checking.
Oh, it was so frustrating. I was in tears.
Jolene Constance has chronic lung disease. After trying to order through Walmart's app time and time again, she finally got through.
I'm hoping and praying things are going to get better. Soon, shelves are going to be stocked again, and I will be able to get the items I really need.
Until those shelves are fully restocked, there will be plenty of time to try new things.
We're having catfish tonight. It'll be interesting.
Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
You heard the governor talk about staying at home, not traveling up to the high country. So if it's any consolation, the trail's probably going to be frozen over anyway. A few inches of snow expected to fall by morning. The Metro also will see rain turning to snow. Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson is tracking it all from his weather bunker. Hi, Mike.
Nice to talk to you, Shannon. We do have a first alert action day in effect for tonight and tomorrow morning, especially over the northeast plains. And this storm system is spreading snow and rain across the area right now. As a matter of fact, the snow line dropping to about 6,500 feet at the present time. It's going to continue to get lower. Let's take you up to Fort Morgan with our Viero camera there. You can see the rain falling in the Fort Morgan area. They'll probably be a pretty good windy, wet snow coming in by the time we join you again at 10 o'clock tonight. So there is your evening forecast. Rain to snow and turning colder down to 34 degrees by 11 p.m. As far as the amount of snow from this storm, it's going to be about 1 to 3 over the Denver area. Quite a bit heavier out toward Lyman and Last Chance, and up into the mountains, some fairly decent snow is expected as well. There's the culprit, low pressure system that's going to quickly move to the east, intensifying and producing blizzard conditions by morning over northeast Colorado. Lighter snows by daybreak along the I-25 corridor, clearing skies farther to the west. Cold tonight, though, with readings really dropping down into the teens in a lot of the mountain locations, even some single digits, 20s along the I-25 corridor. So roads may get a little icy with that snow coming in for early Saturday. Good day to stay in. Snow, windy, difficult driving on the plains. That gets better in the afternoon, but it stays windy and cold. Rain and snow showers may redevelop over northwest Colorado in the afternoon, but it shouldn't amount to too much. But not a really warm day coming up. 50 in Denver, low to mid 40s out over the eastern plains, 20s and 30s expected in the mountains along the Front Range. Broomfield and Boulder at about 52. We'll see readings around 50 for Denver, and out at DIA, 20s and 30s in the mountains, and just 18 at Winter Park. And as far as our forecast tonight, rain to snow, windy, colder, 28 for low, northwest winds 15 to 30 and gusty. Tomorrow we'll have some flurries early and then clearing cool with a high of 50, northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And looking ahead, it gets better in a hurry. By Sunday, mostly sunny and 55. Monday, 58 with a few afternoon showers. Very nice weather Tuesday and Wednesday with mid to upper 60s. Mostly cloudy next Thursday and next Friday. Another chance of some showers and some snow for the mountains, and a high temperature around 50 degrees. The worst of this is going to be out over the eastern plains, western sections of Kansas, Nebraska, late tonight and tomorrow morning. But the good news, it does get better as the weekend continues. Speaking of continues, we'll do right that with more right after this.
I should be playing baseball right now, but I'm not, because I'm at home socially distancing myself. Yes, I'm taking it very seriously. I'm washing my hands, and I'm pretending like I have no friends for the next few weeks. I think you should too, so we can all get back to work.
Is there any better way to welcome you into my home than with Charlie Blackmon in front of a fireplace? I don't think so. Well, come on in, take your shoes off, stay a while. I'm Nick Rothschild. This is Denver 7 Sports from my dining room nook. That was a great message from Charlie. But also today we heard from the one and only Peyton Manning.
These times are certainly hard for everyone, but I want to encourage you all to keep a positive attitude and to help your fellow Coloradans in need. You can volunteer, donate blood, or join me by making a contribution at helpcoloradonow.org. Colorado needs your help more than ever. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Thank you very much.
We transitioned from a former Bronco to a brand new one. Melvin Gordon met with the Denver media today for the first time since signing his 2-year contract. Now, Gordon's coming in off a down year, and he says he hears the criticism, but he's ready to prove the haters wrong with the Broncos.
You know, I just felt like a lot of people just, doubt my talent as a back. Just during the holdout, a lot of people were just saying that, oh, he's an average back, he's not this, he's not that. I'm going to take that and I'm going to use it as fuel because I know what type of player I am. And, I want to show that. I want to show that, and I am going to show that. And I'm showing everybody that I'm better than just average.
When the NCAA canceled all of spring sports, that also included spring football. And for a brand new head coach like Carl Durrell at CU, that lost time is sorely missed. Luckily, Durrell did get a chance to meet with the players and interview all of them before being told to stay at home. And ever the optimist, he's using this time as a chance to motivate his team.
I mentioned to this team and said, men, whatever we're dealing with, we're going to use this as a challenge and as a great opportunity, not as something that's going to set us back. So, right now, that's the mindset we're trying to build with our team is that, what are we doing to maximize this time that might be better than what everybody else is doing?
Durrell was also asked about the possibility the college football season gets put on delay due to the coronavirus pandemic. He says he hopes that doesn't happen, but right now all they can do is focus on what they can control, and the priority here is to stay healthy and stay safe. That's all I've got for you. We'll be right back.